Doing things that are out of the norm is something that we enjoy doing.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now. Personally, I'm quite excited about the new NITE album. They bring a heavy metal with some blackened influences, a cool mix between old school and newer sounds and visuals as well. And I sat down with guitar player and singer Van to learn all about it. Okay, Van, thank you so much for your time today. Exciting times. I mean, when we record this, we're still some time from the release of the new album, the second album, but we've seen some video clips now. The road to the launch has started. And on top of that, first album with Season of Mist. So I can imagine that you're getting pretty excited right now.
Yeah, we've been excited for a while. First of all, thank you for having me here. And yeah, we've been excited for quite a while, ever since we signed with them. And yeah, I mean, the album is ready for quite a while, to be honest with you. Like, we did finish the album during the summer, but you know, with all the things going on in the vinyl production industry, everybody's album has been pushed on, you know, later.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't really wait for the album to come out because we've been sitting on it for quite a while.
It seems that you were very inspired yet again by, let's call it the ancient times, or maybe even more specifically, you know, the mystic side of the ancient times. There's references to, obviously, you mentioned the new single that came out, Acheron or Acheron. You know, Kronos is obviously referenced several times, Heliopolis as well, ancient Egypt city known for its sun cult. So what is it exactly about all these elements that draws you to them so much?
The twist here is not that we're not actually talking about ancient times. We're talking about some future alien world. It's not exactly that. We're talking about Egypt and stuff. Of course, all these things are, you know, things that we all love, and you know, like anything that has to do with Egypt, like, to me, is a reference to Power Slave. So one of my favorite albums of all time, and I think for the rest of the guys too. Yeah, but also all these references are, I mean, the words are very Greek and stuff. I mean, I was born in Greece and stuff. So, but we don't really use the old meaning, like the Acheron River. You know, used to be like, you know, the river in the myth that would death would take the souls to the underworld and stuff. But for us here, it means more of it's more of a river through space and time, kind of. So it's a journey through space and time to a different place in the universe, right? So it's a different take to it. So also, Kronian basically is a fancy Greek word for Saturn. So anything that has to do with Saturn and what that means to people and to us. I mean, songs don't really have to mean the same thing to us and to the people that get into them, but yeah, I mean, all of these are in a setting that we just came up with. So we're using this stage for as the setting for the tale that we're talking about here.
Shadows running wild, the end of time.
All these myths and archetypes are universal for the whole history of time, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if right now we're going through a hard time. I think humanity is going through a hard time from, you know, year minus 1 million or something. So you know, like a struggle is part of life, and you know, like strength and overcoming hardships is what this band is about. Like, that's what our lives are about. And you know, this is not exactly Disneyland, you know. Bad things happen to all of us every day. So yeah, that's where we're. I mean, same way that the song on your right helped me when I was like 10 or something. You know, this amazing song. Like, one of the most, like the greatest song of all time, in my opinion. Same way that's where we stand. Like that, these are the same reflections that we're talking about. So how we go through life.
These journeys that you take us on with the songs. Now, you also they are embodied, if you will, by the character of the the Time Raider, if I'm not mistaken.
The Time Raider, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
The Time Raider.
I want to come back to the artwork in just a second, but also not just on the artwork, but we also saw him or her or it appear in the first music video. What should we know about this character? What is he looking for?
This album is, first of all, it's kind of a concept album. I mean, there are a couple of songs there that could stand alone, but like there's definitely a flow between the songs and through the songs. So this is our take on the universal hero myth, which or the Arthurian myth, or the quest for the Holy Grail, or the Odyssey by Homer, and so on and so on. So our heroes in this one, the main characters anyway in this story, are on a journey towards the sun, whatever the sun means to anyone. The journey towards something, right? The journey, like the Odyssey towards something, and all the stages that we pass, which is basically a metaphor for the journey through life, and all the stages that we go through as humans.
That character on the album, or the entire artwork, created by and I actually don't know what the right way to pronounce his name is, but the artwork creator Dei, I'm not quite sure what the right way is, but a newer name.
Dei is the Dei is the way to go.
A newer name in the world of metal, but a very talented mural artist as well, often big sci-fi images. An unlikely choice, but it worked out really well. How do you get in touch with him? Because I believe it's his first metal album cover.
Yeah, exactly. It was. He was very hard to convince, but I'm so glad that he accepted that. I was like persuading him for quite a while, and I really loved his style. I had first seen his work in the heavy metal magazine. He was featured as they did a street art issue a couple of years ago, and he immediately stood out to me. And of course, many more artists from heavy metal have been, amazing and everything. And I've been following this whole world for a long time. I've been, also more European comic books for my whole life and stuff. So doing things that are out of the norm is something that we enjoy doing. Like we don't really like playing it safe. I mean, that happens, in everything we do. Like bringing black metal vocals into a traditional kind of sounding metal is not common and stuff. And we enjoy like these things that this thing creates, like this freshness and this new energy that all these things bring. And anyway, I think that he's just amazing. Like I saw like so much of some of the legendary stuff of the 70s and 80s in him. And it was weird to get him to understand what the metal world is like, and how much how things are done, how important it is to be able to have that artwork on a t-shirt. And for an artist that is a pure artist that doesn't really do that, it's kind of hard to convince him, okay, we're gonna put this on a t-shirt, and we have to do that because people want to wear the the cover of the album on a t-shirt. I mean, he brought this world to life, really, because what we were telling him was about the story and the lyrics, but like he did things that we didn't really tell him. We didn't really tell him that we want this like giant figure on the cover, and that person like finding that, it was like perfect, what he did. And we were really, really happy to have him on board.
Now, you mentioned some of the, the freshness, absolutely, and some of the, unconventional choices, maybe for a heavy metal band by incorporating those black metal vocals. I find it a sentiment that I get when I listen to music, and I find it very fitting with this epic journey that you take us on. But I hope I don't offend you by saying that I find your vocals very soothing. They have there's a calmness to them, which I know sounds ridiculous when we're talking about black metal potentially, but do you see where I'm coming from? That is, I feel like the vocals are almost a trance-like style of vocals.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, thank you for saying that. Yeah, it is interesting. There is there is a lot in there to talk about. Like there is, I feel that heavy metal in general, like, and extreme music in general, is a covered white noise machine. To be honest with you, like we all like to put on metal on and work because it soothes us. We have this like white noise thing going on. So I mean that's on one level, but the voice in general in NITE doesn't really play the role that a normal voice plays. It's more of a percussive instrument and more in the background, leaving the guitars to do what they do. And the blend is there. I mean, it's a thing that is that will evolve as guitars will evolve and drums will evolve and bass will. Like right now, I mean, we're working on the next album, and we are exploring different kind of things that are going to bring a little bit more a different style, maybe at some points. But for this one, I mean, where the voice is placed, I think this is a very good comment, and I appreciate it.
Sometimes a bit of a difficult question for a band that releases a concept album is that it is written as one piece. It is meant to flow from one to the other. When I was listening to the album, I think, Acheron, The Trident, Edge of Night, I think so far are my favorite songs, but this is a tough album to break up. When you are thinking, which I'm sure you're doing, even with all the restrictions that are still out there, if you're thinking about, shows in the near future, is that really tough for you as a band to select certain songs, or is this something you really only want to play start to finish? Have you thought about those?
Yeah, no, start to finish is not something that I mean, I don't know, like one day maybe, who knows, but it's not a prerequisite. I mean, it's not an album that we wrote to play live in its entirety. I mean, to be honest with you, the first album was also a concept album, but we didn't really advertise it that much. The live experience for us is very different because there's so much going on there and so much like energy from the crowd, and it's a totally different thing. So many songs on the album might not work live, meaning that people might not want to take that journey through it.
Right.
So we have of course made sure that all these songs stand alone by themselves fine. So we can definitely play all of them, like individually live. But yeah, when we're trying to craft a show, we're kind of thinking of the dynamics of the show. How are we going to start? When people, what are we going to do next? When are we going to let the people like take a breather and go grab a beer or something and come back? So yeah, that's where we are now. And plus, we're a little bit far away from having like a proper headlining tour, so we don't really worry about like a 1.5 hour show or something. We're mostly focused on a 45-minute to an hour show that is gonna make sense and it's gonna keep people entertained to enjoy the headliner. Like, we're not at that place in our career where we can actually headline a big tour. So yeah. We definitely have plans to tour the East Coast and the West Coast. Like the European plans are a little far away for us right now, unfortunately. Even though I would love to go see all my friends in Europe and on the way of the with the tour. Yeah, the next thing that we're doing is that we're playing the Hills Heroes, and right now we're a little bit numb because the world has closed up here, so everything has been put on hold. So any other shows we were planning, we're just gonna wait and see how the latest variant is gonna play out. Yeah, but that's that. Yeah, we are working on certain other things, and as I mentioned, we are working on the next album already. But it's gonna take a few years, like a year or so, or maybe more to be ready.
I want to thank you so much for your time today. I know that you're on a busy schedule and that you have to run soon, so I just want to say thank you for your time. As you know, I'm super excited about the album. I've got my pre-order in and I can't wait to get it in the mail. No, thank you so much for your time. I'm really excited about the second album, and I wish you all the best with the launch cycle ahead of you.
Thank you.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.